saying which one is it's broadcast by Fifth Dimension. Alright, I had some strange and some synchronicities recently. So I'm going to continue with the Middle East, but I'm kind of giving it a break. I'm wiped out. I'm doing a lot of connections behind the scenes. You can call them meditations. You can say that. It's been kind of heavy. Yeah, I was going to talk about Brussels, Belgium, but yeah, I can't connect to everything or share everything. But either way, so yeah, L3 is still here. There's still, or it's not something that's gonna happen overnight, but some kind of connection will happen when the time is right. Let's put it that way. I do get dates. I do get. Of course, I don't know if anything will happen on that date, but like March 15th was a date, but I don't know. But they told me now's not the time. You're not ready yet, or now's just not the time. I think it's so. Anyway, they're all figuring everything out, so it's nothing to jump into right away. I'll go into it little by little. Whether it's I can't hit the topic. I can't beat it to death. I need a break every once in a while. So, alright, so take a break from the Middle East and go into Singapore. So if you look up Singapore, I didn't realize it's the most expensive place in the world to live in. It's just a little island, and it does have a Muslim energy there too. So yeah, it's a Illuminati city, no doubt about it. It was created for a certain reason. They just got Singapore. Interesting enough, I felt like they're pushing me towards finding Illuminati beings. That's going to be interesting. Kind of digging it up, and then it's like, how am I going to do that? It's like, so I got the message of Singapore, and then something got my attention, and I forgot what it was, and then I found the name Singapore again on my phone. So I was like, okay, that's what I forgot. Now I remember it. So Singapore. So Illuminati energies. I've had some synchronicities with the word black goo. I'll mention that tomorrow. I've had that I ran into that 3 times now. I looked it up. Somebody brought it up to me, and I looked it up, and then it was brought up again. It's okay. 3 times the charm, huh? And then all this Illuminati stuff came up. So it's like, okay, obviously I'm being directed towards something. It's that these just a little synchronicities, a little here and there. So in this name, I put it in the thumbnail. Somerset Belenoff, I don't know, this Belenoff, whatever her name is. Anyway, she's not so basically a Illuminati queen. According, I don't know where all this got leaked out, or I don't know how that works exactly, but there is legitimate energies to it. Now she's hidden. There's no pictures of her. Even whatever I posted, I'm not sure if that's her. I think it's her. I don't have 100% I believe it is. So they're slowly making themselves known. Testing the waters. They can't hide forever. I mean, they have been hiding forever, but yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. So, yeah. So a lot of these blockages will come into light for those that need it. The World Council, you can't really, that's like how the people running the world. Found that through her name, so I feel like, yeah, and I'll bring in somebody for this, but Singapore is basically a Illuminati experiment. It is a modernize of everything they want to do. Now, it doesn't mean it's all bad, but it's not exactly the most positive energy there either. It has a little bit of everything. So, yeah, they're draining my energy just as I'm speaking. Alright, so this is fun. We'll go into update first. Okay, those are new to all this. Something.com, avatar.com. Bright sessions. We're on a channel. Google Hangout, Zoom, and channel on my phone. Questions now, not with everybody, but I'm at the 10 day mark finally. But not with everybody, but most I am. Same situation here. So I'm saying, channels and heroes I do recommend. So finally back to a week delivery finally. Social network also posts a lot of stuff I found here. And it's worth a look. Also, the rabbit is out. This is the backwards version of it. This is going backwards. Oh, let's get to the end. Yeah, how to screw up Earth, now a corporation. Okay. So this is a site too that has updates, cryptic messages. So I believe there is some legitimate. I believe it's legit. So it's worth. There's a little bit of updates here and there at Glassmiss calling, something like that. So yeah, apparently she was appointed by Queen Elizabeth in 1979, and something you have to do deep research into. But there's no picture of her currently, just whatever you see there or there. So yeah, you're not gonna get the. I mean, who knows what's. I'm not sure what's going on there with that, but either way. Aside of that, there is some legitimate. Yeah, it's like very small leaks, and it's necessary for the elite's karma. What they're up to, they're not too. Yeah, they have to give themselves up eventually. And Singapore is a new version of technologies. It's kind of like a secret space program type of city too, because it has new everything. It's not cheap to live there. It's not a place that many people would go to. Not in the map of consciousness either. You don't hear about it at all. But this one, I say a secret space program because it just has a lot of advanced energies there. Let's put it that way. Technology-wise, whatever it might be. And if you do research into it, you find there's a lot of millionaires there, probably billionaires, obviously. And it's like a super small island. So yeah, you think Beijing or you wouldn't think, or even Taiwan or Tokyo or something like that would be the most expensive. But it kind of tells you. I just got a message: Illuminati Energies, Singapore, and there's more to it. So just kind of the spirit world is kind of planting seeds of what people want to divulge, what you want to know about, because it can't go beyond what people want to handle. But like truth is stranger than fiction. Yeah, it can go pretty deep. The rabbit hole of Illuminati energies. Basically, the message I got, I'm supposed to find Illuminati energies, and I'm kind of find it without looking for it. In some ways, not physically, but here I'm looking for alien connections. I guess I'm looking for the Illuminati too. I guess you have to have one. You have to have one. I guess you have to have both of them. I guess it makes sense. I guess when you think about it. See how that goes. If I go missing, you'll know why. That's not gonna happen. But yeah, I mean that's why I do daily I'm doing daily uploads until things change. Until the world pulls its head out of its ass. Something's gotta give. As for when that's going to be, it's another story. Tomorrow or right now would be a good idea, but other way. A lot of the world controllers are in Singapore right now, and you'll never know their names. I just got a message on that. Big surprise there, huh? Yeah, you'll never know. So that name, I believe, is legit. Obviously, you can't prove it, but they're not going to make it easy to prove. But I believe it has. It's like if you want to know about who's running the show, you can little by little, and you won't disappear or anything, because a lot of them do want to be known. It's like, how'd you find that out? So, there's nothing to fully worry about. I mean, unless you're like shutting down their bank account or something, then you might disappear. Chances of you being able to do that is not very high. So, yeah, just obviously been connecting them in astral for this to be coming through. Not that I'm aware of any of it. Yeah, it's been pretty much a quiet couple of nights ever since, Valentine's Day night when everybody, in spirit world was here to kick my ass. So it shows that we're shifting, that's for sure. So anyway, this message will get to those that need it, to put it that way. Well, there's a lot of people that have been sacrificed by Illuminati, dark Illuminati, and kind of like want their revenge. Gee, I wonder why. It might take lifetime after lifetime to expose them. And for this lifetime, I believe it's highly possible. Where it's connected to human trafficking and all that, so, yeah. Of course, a lot of Illuminati energies aren't fully in control of human trafficking. There's a lot of layers to it. Governments, it's a lot of it's used as a what do you call it? What's the word? Where's that coming through? Of course, it comes through later. A bargaining chip. Yeah. Of course, sex slavery is the biggest one. Of course, with the pornography, that's the big one. So we got a long ways to go for. You never know. Little by little, we'll put what you can out there. We'll let the human consciousness figure out what they want to experience. But yeah, if you want to go into the belly of the beast, obviously we're ready to go. I'm not too worried about it, but so it feels like a lot of Illuminati energies want to be, I want to use the word exposed, but healed, released. They want to be released from their contract. They don't want to put karma on people. Of course, they have. It's just they wanted, because it's all part of a game. So can we be revealed? Can we make ourselves known? Can we put information out there, to benefit ourselves and humanity? And so where this is all going is beyond me. Or we have alien connections, and it's almost like you gotta do one thing to get to the other. So that's Illuminati stuff that I guess you can say the Illuminati stuff is a little bit more what people can grasp and understand, and all this alien stuff, at least it's easier than the alien stuff. Let's put it that alien stuff's like, what the fuck are you talking about? What kind of mushrooms are you on? So yeah, but at least the Illuminati, they have their it's in people's faces, so it's a little bit more. It's been talked about more than aliens. Let's put it that way. So, yeah, there's no document. There's more documentation on the Illuminati than there is aliens. I mean, there are, but not like the Illuminati goes back forever. So, okay, all right. We'll see what we get on all of this. We bring angelic energies. Believe whatever you want to believe. Doesn't matter. Yeah, humanity has a trouble healing going into, a new reality. They don't want to let go of their old ways for obvious reasons. So, all right, blessings. Here we go. Jeez. Jeez. Greetings, we are from Spirit. To know about yourselves, to be free of your reality. Yeah, it's discernment. It is also to be able to look under the rug where everyone is walking, stir things up, look beyond what you see in the physical. Your reality is shifting for a more awareness of who's here. Now, most of your human does not want to experience this, but many of you are here to open the gates. There's nothing to be afraid of. But how many are really ready to make that adjustment where you no longer have to be scared on your world? Darkness here is on many levels. It's like a comfort blanket for many. Yes, you have to kind of turn off your mind and open it up again and restart it, reset it to think differently. And many are just not really willing to adjust to that portion of it. The fantasy world of relationships, friends, and jobs is a fantasy reality. Now, there is some legitimate energies to it, but it's not for everyone. Some of you are kind of like spiritual archaeologists here to unravel your earth. It's right in front of you in plain sight, but you're not told to really look at it. As you look into it, most of your people around you will stop you. See between the lines. See between your realities. Yes, your Singapore is kind of like a hoax city in some ways. Meaning it's like right in front of your face of who's running your world. And many don't really look at it that deeply. Some are terrified to look. But it's there. They make themselves unhidden. But are you willing to see? Some are, yes, the glamour of wealth. Some of you are terrified of wealth. Some of you can see right through wealth and see what they really are. Yeah, some of them feel like they're superhuman. Because they are. Many of them run your reality without even trying. Your society just buys into everything they say. Nike, the shoe company, is an example of that. Hypnotism. Companies do it all the time. Nike is a perfect. Even the name Nike has a hidden meaning. Like you give your company a certain name, everybody flocks to you. Some of you give your name to a company to heal, and many are not ready to heal. Some cities are built for healing, yes. Your oceans are built for healing. Of course, some don't want to get devoured by the oceans, but some do. Some want to get devoured into the astral realms and know everything. You want all your knowledge. Lower astral has a great deal. Meaning, like you're selling your soul to the devil. You sell your soul for fast information. But at what cost? And many do pay. Slow information and not that attractive is usually the best route. But some want a major following. Your YouTube shows it. Some have sold their souls to get that large following. but not to name names. But you figure that out. Not everyone has done that, but some have. And what information they have, not always the most in-depth, but it doesn't matter. They have status. Yes, is there information that life-changing? It might seem that way on the outside, but it's also there to keep us in a bubble. It's like they only have a limited amount of information. Yes, you got to manage your status. Now they can live off of their talents, which is excellent, but they can only go so far with information where they're comfortable at. Like your relationships, finances, and that's about it. You find different ways of saying there's nothing wrong with any of those things. But that's all they're juggling. You can find other ways of meditations, which is fine. But going into the deeper realms, many are not willing to do that or even sacrifice or being mocked. Because it's not easy. It's not satisfying to the person bringing it in. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times not. And it's just not. Some of you find some groundbreaking information that most will just go over their heads. It's like, what are you talking about? What? Because they're not ready for it. 10 years later, it might be a different story, but you're putting it out there now. So yes, it might be discovered 10 years later. How exciting. Artists do it all the time. Create their art, be forgotten. Van Gogh knows that one very well. Found new techniques of painting, found new ways of looking at the world. Nobody cared. Until they started to care after he was gone. Only a few saw what he was doing. And now everybody's doing it. Nobody saw it like that, though. You still don't. Spiritual work is the same way. It's not as glamorous as some of you might think it is. But is this supposed to be? It can be, like anything else. But many of you want to unlock this earth. And it's not as easy as it sounds. Because the fantasy world of living, yes, relationship lives and all that, yes. Many are comfortable with that world. Nothing wrong with that world. But it does have its limitations. Now, if you're in a terrible relationship, you'd be surprised what you can get out of that, actually. Sometimes the more comfortable relationship, the less you learn. If you're in a relationship that's like, what was I thinking? But you're still together. You make it work, but you still can't stand each other. You'd be surprised. It's like how much you can learn about yourself and how much information you can dive into because of that. So, yes, in this reality, yes, there is a fancy experience here, but it's only really meant for a few. Many of you are here to live the grind of the reality of the truthness of it, the dirt of it, to heal it, let go of this old world. As nice as a comfortable world looks like, it's not as comfortable as you might think. Sometimes it's babysitting each other. There's very few relationships that are actually working, functioning well, where it's an equal balance. Normally they aren't that way, but it's a chore all on its own. Your society is going into a new flux of understanding. Your Singapore is, yes, staring you right in the face of who's running your world. But not really showing who's really running it, but how they operate. Those are running it will make sure you never know who they are. But that does not mean you can't find out anyway. It's just not... It's there, but it's not that attractive. And who the hell is going to believe you? Some of you will. Because, yes, you're unlocking your planet. So, yes, your Illuminati beings are watching this very carefully. They want to be healed. They want to be let out of their contracts here. Because they're tired of this place. They've done everything they can. Now they're taking care of society. And now it's time, you hear that phrase of live your life. Well, many aren't really doing that. Even though they say they are living their life, aren't really. Of the consequence of others, on the backs of others. The idea is for you to release the darkness of this earth. And you're doing that slowly. So living a life, if that's not easy, is necessary to strengthen the soul. Because what you're going to uncover isn't going to be the easiest to understand, but from your perspective, it will be easier than those that get everything they want in life. Those that get everything they want in life always put that energy out there, in order to stop you from knowing the real earth. Don't you want to live this comfortable life? Don't you want all these viewers? Don't you want this? Don't you want that? They're there to slow you down or to stop you from uncovering what your earth is hiding. So it is necessary to see that, how they operate, because many of you are going to, yes, lift the rug and find there's a secret passageway there. And what takes you go further and further, and one door after the other, after the other, after the other. And that's when you'll find your aliens. Your aliens are, it's like you want to find us, first you got to find these other places first. Because it all syncs together. Yes, your aliens are going to assist you on many levels of healing your earth. Yes. They're going to work with you. They can't do it for you, but they can work with you if you're willing to work with them. If you want to just sit down and have them do everything, they'll just leave. Yeah, they, like Elon Musk, for example, gets downloads. You'll get download to do things. Now, some of you might want this download or that download, and that's a whole nother story. You want this, you want that. Oh, this isn't good enough for me. Yada, yada, yada. Well, it's just in you in the universe. Yeah, the idea of alien energies on your planet will become normal like anything else. But anytime anything new, it's like the invention of the car. When the car was brought into your world, it was a gradual process. It scared the hell out of people in the beginning. Same with your aliens. But now everybody has a car now, right? Yeah. So everybody will have an alien presence, basically. Nothing to be afraid of. But at first, yeah, it's going to be terrifying. But not for all of you. Some of you are intrigued and wish to go further, and that is what we're looking for. Some of you are built for this, not to be scared, but to go into the unknown. Why most of your society, now realize this isn't made for everybody. We understand that, but much of your society refuses to ever acknowledge any of this. Because they're not willing to go through it, or they're just terrified of the thought of it. But it is possible, yes. Patience, there's many degrees of understanding. Are you willing to go through that? Yeah. The grind of it, yes, it's necessary. It's not as comfortable. Yeah, if you smell, you look terrible, you've had better days. There's nothing wrong with any of that. You're showing you're being human. Instead of putting on this persona of perfection. There's nothing wrong with trying to look good for society. Nothing wrong with that. But, some are still getting used to being themselves, comfortable in themselves. Of course, when you're around a lot of people, obviously you want to smell halfway decent. But you don't always have to be that way. So, some have to put on a show because they're hiding something, as many of you know. Put on, yes, a lot of makeup, a lot of this, a lot of that, because they're hiding themselves. but you can see in their actions who they really are. It takes a while, but the truth can be revealed. So, blessings to you on your endeavors.